Welcome into Glenn Tidwell Community Coaches Show. I'm Bill Anderson, your host. Coach, last week we were here, and I told you I was going to make some white beans. You remember that?
I did.
I went down to Piggly Wiggly, our sponsor of this show, and I got my cracklings. I got my ham cut up by a real butcher. Community service, met the owner. Outstanding grocery store.
Good dude.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shop local, save big at the pig. Also want to thank North Star Services, Extreme Flooring. All right, Coach. Wasn't what we wanted. 48-0 loss to Cascade on the road.
Yeah, I had a couple of folks ask me what happened on Friday. I said, well, I don't think we ever got off the bus.
Stayed on bus.
That or in the locker room, one of the two. We'd had a pretty good week of practice, like normal. It's like I told the kids. It's like when the lights come on, hit the field, we just go brain dead and just don't play. So I don't know. That was probably, even though we've had some losses in the 30s and I think one in the 50s, that was probably the worst performance we'd had of those 9 games. And why they chose a rivalry game, who knows? So,
all right, I see somebody right over here. I hadn't seen them in it. Who we got?
Coach Tyre, my OC,
well,
one of my best friends.
Absolutely. I don't know about much of an OC. I ain't scored any.
And I heard the key is you're the key. You're the key to transportation.
I am the key to transportation.
Community don't go anywhere.
Everything runs through Coach Tyre's bus.
That's right.
That's right.
Let's take a break here from our sponsors. We'll be back. We're going to talk with Coach Tyre, and we're going to talk about the future in community football.
Water, fire, or mold damage. Call North Star Services, Nashville's local, non-franchise restoration pros. We respond 24/7 to stop damage fast, handle dry and cleanup, and manage repairs start to finish. As a licensed general contractor with 20-plus years experience, we coordinate directly with your insurance and offer free estimates, serving all of Middle Tennessee, including Bedford County. Restore today. Rebuild with confidence. Call 615-203-9573.
Shop local at Shelbyville Piggly Wiggly, down home, down the street. From farm fresh produce and hand-cut meats to pantry staples, dairy, frozen favorites, and household essentials, we've got your list covered at hometown prices. Don't miss our weekly ad and truckload meat sales. Open 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily. Visit 874 Union Street, Shelbyville, or call 931-684-1363. Follow us on Facebook for the latest specials. Shop local. Save big at the Pig.
Ready to upgrade your space? At Extreme Flooring in Shelbyville, we've got you covered. From carpet and hardwood to luxury vinyl, tile, and waterproof flooring. We also handle kitchen backsplash and bath remodels. Our design and sales team will help you find the perfect fit with trusted brands like Dreamweaver, Shaw, Mohawk, Doll Tile, and Tile Bar. And their certified installers make sure everything looks just right. Stop by and see us at 225 Colorado Boulevard in Shelbyville or give us a call at 931-735-6700. Financing is available. Schedule your consultation today at extreme-flooring.com. Let's make your home amazing.
Welcome back to the Community Coaches Show. Coach Tidwell, Coach Tyre in with us. Coach, long time at Cascade.
Yes, sir. Long time. Let's see, 17 years. 17 of my 20 years at Cascade.
What was it like to be wearing the purple and not the orange?
I'll tell you what it was like. I feel sorry for every opposing coach that's ever played at Cascade that I didn't take better care of that sideline when I was there, because it's terrible. And it's nothing on Jared. It's nothing on – I didn't do it when I was there. I left it a mess, but that sideline is wet and muddy, and it's just part of it. It's something I never really took care of either. And there's not a whole lot of room on the visitor side either.
There's not.
So, like I said, that was a new perspective for me, because
right.
I've never coached from that side, so not even in practice or anything. So,
no chance we did a Kenny Parker and had a sprinkler on over before, was it?
It's Cascade's field it's a really good field. Like I said, I spent a lot of time on it. It holds water in the same spots it's always held water, and I knew
especially for the sprinkler on.
I knew over there on Friday that where our wet spots were going to be on the field. Like I said, for 10 years, I battled it, and I know Jared's battling it now, and it's just part of it. And then Kenny battled it when he was there. So we always talked about getting the field redone, and it's got a decent crown. It just doesn't crown like it's supposed to crown. It doesn't drain. You're in a bowl because of the visitor side, and then whenever the county whenever they put in the new stands, they put all that concrete up, so it blocks it from going anywhere.
Right.
So it's staying.
So there's nowhere for the water to go
staying
really
on
now.
the field. So, it's just one of those things. And like I said, that with the field community, didn't realize how big that field was until we got over there. And I said, good Lord, we've got 30 yards on the sideline between the, out of bounds line, the sideline and the fence. So
we thought when the machine painted it, it wasn't right because there was so much room.
So much room over there. So, that's just one of the things that Cascade's hampered by with the field is there's not room to move it anywhere. So, but it was a different feeling being on that side. I wasn't looking forward to it, but I wasn't dreading it. I wanted the guys to come out there and play hard on Friday, and like Coach Tidwell said earlier, we decided not to. It was by far, I think, our worst played game of the year. If I had to, we made simple scrimmage one mistakes that we haven't made. And I mean, and it's offensively, defensively, special teams. It was bad from the get go. And it's something that I think the kids learn from, and I think it's something that we've worked with the kids for this year is, it takes some time to get that mentality with the kids, like, hey, to overcome a mistake. Even at Cascade, when I was there, all those years with Kenny as assistant coach and then as the head coach, we lost a little bit of the intensity and then we got it back. And then, it takes a while to build that into a program. It's not an overnight fix. And it really starts with youth football and comes up through the pipe. When you get a good youth football group that is productive, that is learning the X's and O's and learning the rules and learning how to do this and how to do this the right way. And they get to high school and you don't have to explain the simple things to them, right? Like I said, we've got a bunch of good athletes at Community, had a bunch of good athletes at Cascade. There was a run there 4 or 5 years where, they hadn't been taught some of the things early on. And you're playing catch up with high school kids that you shouldn't have to play catch up with. So
how much of a difference is it going to make having a full off season where you didn't this time? It get bigger, faster, stronger.
We talked about that today after our walkthrough is the plan for that, and starting full speed in January because you got so much time off coming this month and next month and exams and things like that. So once we hit into January, we'll kick it off really hard with weights and different agilities and drills and things like that we didn't get to until the summer because I was there in March is when I officially started, and then Coach Tyre and the rest of the staff, they really didn't get there until the summer. I don't know, they were there in the afternoons for spring practice, but as far as being there every day in the weight room with me, didn't happen until June 1. So now we've got
It takes some time, and the luxury of the way our scheduling is in this county now with schools is, having that 5th block athletic period. So your kids that go to other sports after school, they're still getting their weights in. I saw at Cascade, that's where I saw a big improvement whenever we started having a football period or an athletic period, that last period of the day. So you give the chance for those kids to go and work in the off season, right? To go do this or go play another sport and still get their lifting conditioning in, that will build them up for the next season, right? Because, we're starting, I feel like it's a every year thing, but we're starting. I was thinking about that. I was feeding hay before I came over here. I was thinking, all right, how many underclassmen do I have playing on the offensive side? I've got 8 underclassmen, freshman, sophomore, 1 junior, 2 juniors maybe, and 3 seniors playing on the offensive side of the ball. Coach Till's got more playing on the defensive side of the ball. That's something that we had talked about before the season.
Right.
But those freshmen that should be playing JV are out there playing on Friday nights. They're logging minutes. They're getting valuable experience right now that, a lot of freshmen around aren't getting, right? I mean, they're getting it on JV. And then when we had 3 or 4 JV games, we were ultra competitive in every one of our JV games, right? So those freshmen, sophomores that are learning the game and learning, especially the freshman class, they come in next year and they've got 11 games under their belt where you go play guys that their freshman, sophomore played 3 or 4 JV games, especially at our level, at our size, that they're getting that valuable game time experience that a JV game really doesn't give you, because it's not a true football environment, right? It's a controlled scrimmage.
Yeah, you can stop, make corrections.
The way we
Right.
play them, it's a controlled scrimmage, right? So those guys are playing 48 minutes, kickoff return, special teams. And like I said, we're starting so many underclassmen. Our upperclassmen, the ones that have bought into what we're doing, they've done a really good job. But those freshmen, sophomores, they've really bought in. And you'll see there'll be such a big jump from this year to next year, right? I mean, and it doesn't help our case. It doesn't help Cascade's case. It really doesn't help Chapel Hill's case. Smaller schools that are playing in this 3A region, who's probably the toughest 3A region in the state.
Right.
Right. We've got Giles and Squatchy who will probably both make big runs in the playoffs. Forest can. And then
Giles, did you see Giles has already won their playoff game?
Yeah, they got a forfeit. So, it's one of those things where we've got to build on the success we had this year, the little success we had. And we knew this going in. We wasn't going out there expecting to win 10 games. I've been a part of, and he's been a part of, I figured this up today when I was thinking about what I was going to talk about tonight. I ain't doing it. And so I was riding around after school and I was like, I've coached for 20 years. And for 15 of those 20 years, 14 of those 20 years, I've coached on a team that's went to the playoffs. I've coached on a team that's went to the second round. I've coached on a team 4 teams that went to the third round. Coached on a team that went to the semifinals, right? So we've been on some successful programs, and we know what it takes and what it's got to look like for that to happen. And you're not going to do that in a year one scenario unless you have a special group of kids that are just primed to have that, right? So, for us next year, in my mind, to think about it is, gotten that middle school base built, gotten that freshman class built, getting that youth football going,
right?
And you'll see some success, starting next year, and then see some more success. And you just got to build on it until the following year, like I said. And our non-region schedule, we played a lot of smaller schools. We played 8 to 10 teams that finished first or second in the region. So
yeah,
I mean, it's
played a Moore County team that lost their quarterback, but not when they played
y'all.
y'all.
It was really good.
Really good. They lost the quarterback.
Yeah. I mean, it's just one of those things where we played a really tough schedule, and we didn't have those games that you could say, all right, we're going to go in here and just push them around. It wasn't that on our schedule. It was a dogfight every week, and I thought that. Even going into tomorrow night, I think that we're going into, and then we're going to have a chance to play tomorrow night, maybe get our first win. And every week there was a shot if we played a perfect game. We had to play a perfect game every game, and not hurt ourselves. And it's hard to do that, even with a old team, even with a team that's experienced, to have that perfect game every game. Like every week you're playing a team that's really good. So. It's a process, and it'll continue to be a process. It's not going to be an overnight thing, and it's going to be a thing that Coach Tidwell is going to, be in it for the long haul to get these kids in the right direction.
And maybe not you got some direction to the football program. There's going to be some other kids in that school that have never played before that all of a sudden, hey,
that's
I'd like to come play football.
That's another thing is at a small school where we're at 2A numbers right now. We're at under 500 kids in our high school. So we wouldn't even be close to going 3A if they reclassed right now, right? We would be in the middle of the road. And so you got to get kids that are playing basketball. And this is something I've preached for years and years and years and years, is at a small school, you got to have basketball kids, baseball kids, soccer kids, cross-country kids, everybody. For every sport to be successful at a small school, those kids have got to play every sport.
Exactly.
You can't specialize.
Nope.
I'm such a negative person when it comes to
specializing. I'm with you on that 100%.
Especially in the high school range. I mean, how many kids do we know that's going to go pro in something?
Right.
I've coached one in 20 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, and even that kid played 3 sports. So,
right.
It's one of those things where I think that we do a disservice to our kids.
Agreed.
Telling them, hey, you're going to be the next Chipper Jones. You're going to be the next Michael Jordan, you're going to be the next this or that. Like I have always, and being a football coach, I've always pushed my guys to play something else, right? You know, even at Cascade, I started the track program at Cascade, so my kids that couldn't play something else would have something else to do.
Wrestling,
you know, wrestling, all that stuff. I mean, you get that school buy-in and get those kids out there, and then you start seeing a little more. The best years I had at Cascade, I had multiple sport athletes on every team. You know, the teams that I didn't have weren't very successful. We were all football guys, right? We didn't play something else. So that's something that's going to take some time. It's not an overnight thing. Like I said, it's going in the right direction. I think we've got some coaches at community now that will push their kids to play other sports, right? And they don't want their kids, you know, being idle, having that idle time, because idle time is not good.
Might be get out to summer in a van or something, ride around and try to scrounge up an athlete or two.
Look
around. Let's take a break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk briefly about the game, and then we're going to talk mostly about what's happening tomorrow night. Go up there and have an extra game, an extra week practice. Let's hear from our sponsors. We'll be right back.
Water, fire, or mold damage. Call North Star Services, Nashville's local, non-franchise restoration pros. We respond 24/7 to stop damage fast, handle drying and cleanup, and manage repairs start to finish. As a licensed general contractor with 20-plus years experience, we coordinate directly with your insurance and offer free estimates, serving all of Middle Tennessee, including Bedford County. Restore today. Rebuild with confidence. Call 615-203-9573.
Shop local at Shelbyville Piggly Wiggly, down home, down the street. From farm fresh produce and hand-cut meats to pantry staples, dairy, frozen favorites, and household essentials, we've got your list covered at hometown prices. Don't miss our weekly ad and truckload meat sales. Open 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily. Visit 874 Union Street, Shelbyville, or call 931-684-1363. Follow us on Facebook for the latest specials. Shop local. Save big at the Pig.
Ready to upgrade your space? And Extreme Flooring in Shelbyville, we've got you covered. From carpet and hardwood to luxury vinyl, tile, and waterproof flooring. We also handle kitchen backsplash and bath remodels. Our design and sales team will help you find the perfect fit with trusted brands like Dreamweaver, Shaw, Mohawk, Dull Tile, and Tile Bar. And their certified installers make sure everything looks just right. Stop by and see us at 225 Colorado Boulevard in Shelbyville, or give us a call at 931-735-6700. Financing is available. Schedule your consultation today at extreme-flooring.com. Let's make your home amazing.
Welcome back in, Glenn Tidwell Show right here on Bedford County Sports Live. Let's just briefly go over the game. Nate Zimmerman, who's at Shelbyville, 66-yard pass early on in the ball game, gets them going. But again, disaster strikes us, the turnovers, the things that have happened to us all year. But at the end of the game, guys, we're moving the ball there, weren't we?
We were. I mean,
and then the Hankies came out. And we had a couple of flags and lost some runs.
Yeah. I think we scored twice, I think. But they got called back for penalties. And, you know, we just couldn't. It's like I was telling you in the break. We just couldn't get ahead of the stick, anything, and couldn't really call the play.
Right.
And, you know, defensive wise, I don't know, we seemed out of sorts, and sometimes we were lined up right, and sometimes we weren't tackles. So, but yeah, it just was a strange night. There was first half was a little odd stuff happening off the sidelines and the referees. And I mean, it's just a weird night. It was Halloween, I guess. So that's
right.
One of the reasons. So,
and of course, the rumor being the Cascade quarterback potentially wouldn't play. He did play, and he's pretty good, isn't he?
He did. I mean, and we never thought about that all week, and we never talked about it with the guys that whether he was or wasn't. I knew, just like I think we had talked last week, and we just assumed that he was going to play. We never thought any different. We didn't prepare any different.
Right.
So, you know, if he played, he played. If he didn't, he didn't. It was what it was. So,
well, talk to me about this week. All right, guys, it's tomorrow night, right?
It is tomorrow night at 7:00 at Warren County.
You sold many tickets yet?
I have not looked. I don't have access to that. I guess their athletic director
Okay.
has
Okay.
the keys to that part. And, our goal was they gave us 300 tickets, and it's kind of like a fundraiser with those. If we can, each ticket's $10, and we get to keep those proceeds until we go past those 300
There's
tickets.
some out there listed. They want to get their tickets or just buy them. What they do.
If you can't go, then help us out and donate $10. Buy a ticket, and yeah, it's kind of like a easy fundraiser for us.
Well, with what y'all are trying to build, it is kind of cool to have an extra week of practice. Get them playing in November a little bit.
It is. It's that's like I told them this week on Monday. Hey, it's to see what it's like to practice when the sun's going down early,
Right.
And it's in November, and the goal is to be here next year playing in the playoffs, and that's the expectation that we're trying to get to, and we'll see if it works.
Now, I've seen us Shelbyville scrimmage Warren County. I know they're a big team. Are they big this year?
They've got some size. They're nothing that we really haven't played this year, as far as like Sequatchie and Giles and Forrest. But yeah, I mean they've got a couple. They've got two brothers. I think number 4 and number 8. Probably their quickest 2 players. But they run a little bit different offense. They'll run some I formation, some weak T looks. They'll run some, pistol. So they do a little bit of everything on offense. And, the good part about practice this week is our kids have seen all that.
Right.
So we see the wing T every day. And, we've practiced ever since basically Huntland. It's all been either, pistol or shotgun sidecar. And, so kids are pretty used to it. Most of the plays are very, very similar. So the blocking schemes are similar. And
What do they try to do to you defensively?
they're a 3-man front. They'll walk 2 guys up, make it look a 52 look, but they're mainly an odd team on defense and 2 deep. I think we have a good opportunity. I think we can run the ball on them and get that going. If we can get that going early, that takes a lot of pressure off the defense. So we've been waiting on that. And of course I haven't helped the offense a whole lot on defense this year either. So, but it's been a team effort, put it that way.
Well, I don't know if you knew this, Bill, but Coach Ballew's son's the head coach down there.
I did not.
Yeah. I don't know which Ballew it is, but Coach Ballew's son that was here Central forever is the head coach at
I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not in a conference. They've been playing teams. I looked at their schedule today, and they played, I don't know, their 5 games that they played that weren't White County, I think, was ranked number 2, and they played Cannon County and
I know they played Glen Cliff. They played Cumberland, I think.
Howard.
Howard, because Howard dropped out too.
Stone Memorial.
Yeah, so they played some tough.
But you know what they were facing, guys, and this is why they did it. They were going to go 0-10, and they said, you know what?
Yeah.
We're going to drop out for 2 years and try to build our program back up.
Well, that's what
White
County did a few
They
years
did,
ago.
yeah.
And I mean, they'd been on a losing streak for years and years and years. And they went out and, went for 2 years. And then they may have been done for 4 years. They may have done it for 4.
I think it was 4.
They came back, and now they're winning their region every year.
Right.
I mean, they built that program up, playing, not being handcuffed to play the teams that, that may come out there. And
Well, they would have been a 6A school, right? was it
Well, I know.
No, Warren would have been 6A.
Right. Warren would have been a 6A school.
They'd have been in the same region as Shelbyville. probably.
Okay. Or maybe that I heard maybe
Well, I
possibly.
know back when I was at Central, we played White County, and they were a 5A school then. So
And Warren
But
County.
Warren's 6A.
Warren County, yeah.
Warren County's a big school.
Yeah, they'd have been 6A. Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, it's a smart move if you can do it. I mean, because
And it doesn't affect your other sports.
no.
Just football.
You just got to, like I said, you got to, petition for it. And then once you're ready to go back to Tissel Blade, they've got to allow you to come back. So they could say no, but they don't ever say no. So it's not a bad move.
For them, it was a good move.
Absolutely.
'Cause I think they were 4-6 or 5-5.
well, we would get them. We were at Cascade. We would get, because we always played Moore County first, and Moore County would scrimmage them the first scrimmage of the preseason, and so we would get video on them. And I mean, Moore County was very, very competitive.
Right.
So but yeah, so it was a good move.
Well, good. I look forward to y'all tomorrow night. And you're a Podbean guy, David Knoll. I'm assuming he's still doing his stuff.
Yeah, I think he's planning on coming. I haven't heard otherwise.
He does a good job, as I've said before. Shout out to him and it's nice to have the support of being able to check it out. And the guy does a really nice job. And hopefully next year, maybe you can have a little video to go with it.
Yeah.
And,
Absolutely.
and get it out there. There's a lot of people, that went to community that might live in Memphis, so they might live in Georgia, or just would love to watch it. And
Yeah, that's right.
the more eyes you got out there, the more eyes we want.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of things will change in the off season now that we've got a year under our belt.
How much does it help you too? I mean, to ask this again, to have a booster club. There hasn't been a booster club for football out there ever, has there?
Yeah,
I think they may have had one.
they've had one, but I don't think
When Frost was out there years and years ago, maybe.
I don't think they've had one that has done as much as ours has.
Y'all's has been pretty active.
Yeah.
That's and coming from my side with being a head coach, and the having a booster club, touchdown club, first down club, whatever you want to call it, that supports your team and takes the load off of the coaches, especially the head coach, as in like feeding the kids and planning all that stuff and taking care of the concession stand. I mean, it gets the community involved, one, but it also it just takes so much pressure off you as a coach,
right?
To know that you've got that support, like I said, even at community, having pregame meals done, having getting off of the locker room and going and getting that sandwich and that bag of chips for the ride home. So
and they feed them during halftime.
Give them a little something at halftime. Yeah. Like it's just having that, and ours has done a phenomenal job being the first year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they have worked their tails off, and it's helped us out tremendously, even on the fundraising side. I think ours is doing a whole lot more than I asked mine to do at Cascade, because I love fundraising, so I enjoyed selling signs and doing all that stuff. But they have taken all that on, and we had a bunch of support with signs and a bunch of support, with advertisements that I don't know if community football has ever had before. So, and that takes not only having good kids or having kids that buy into your program, it takes the community to buy in to fund the program, because it's not cheap running a football program.
Football's not cheap.
If you run a football program cheaply, you will never be successful.
No.
There's just no way you can do it. There's no way that you can have your kids in the best gear, have your kids in the best uniforms, have them meals and all that stuff. You cannot do it on a shoestring budget. It's tough. And I've done it before, but I much rather been able to say, hey, I need this, and not ever been told no. So I enjoy spending the money on the kids. And that's something that we talked about, something I did at Cascade, and we're doing here, is if every dollar we raise, we're going to spend it. Every dollar you raise, we're going to spend on you.
Right.
We're not trying to hoard money here,
right,
and have a 401k, right?
Right.
We're spending this money on you. So get out there and raise the money. If you want some nice stuff, get out there and raise the money, and we'll spend it on you. So
if there's anybody out there that needs to give some money away before tax season, we're your spot.
That's right.
Come on, help us out.
That's right.
And getting that van, we'll drive around and try to find athletes this summer too.
Easy now.
Might head over to Rockville, Eagle for a little while.
Can't talk about all that.
Huh?
Can't talk about all that.
Yeah.
I'll avoid do that in the off season. We got one more show left, guys, next week. Good luck to you at 7:00 at Warren County. The Podbean guy will be on there, David Knoll. If you can check him out on the internet. And I don't know if they have NHFS at Warren County where you can watch it or not. Does anybody know that?
I have no idea.
Yeah,
If I'll email him tomorrow and I'll send you a message.
Send me something.
And,
We'll let people know if it's on the computer where people can watch the game.
Okay.
So this game was always on Thursday, right?
Yeah, it's always been on Thursday. We're trying to get it in before the playoffs started.
Before the playoffs started.
Yeah.
So it starts at 7:00.
Yep.
Up to Warren County. Good luck, guys. Coach Tyre, good to see you. How many deer you got picked out?
I don't know.
You're not going to tell that on there, are you?
One or two.
One or two.
We'll see you this weekend.
All right, we'll be right back here next week. Hey, guys, we've got a special show of Bedford County Sports Live coming up. That's why I'm wearing my Vanderbilt stuff. It's going to be a good one. And come back at 6:00 for that. We'll be right back.